couple weeks during our photo safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. If you take a look above, you're going to see a game spotting guide that's going to help you identify any animals that we might see while on safari. Now, I can't guarantee that we'll see every last one of them, but we usually have pretty good luck. So keep your eyes peeled, and I'll do my best to point out all the animals that I see and tell you a little bit about each one of them so that we can have the best safari possible. Now, we are about to enter the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, which was actually established in 1971 to help protect local wildlife. Now, over the years, the animals have gotten really used to us, which is great news for you guys, because then they come right up to the truck, you can take pictures, it'll be awesome. But it's kind of bad news for the animals, though, because then they trust every human they come into contact with, including the bad guys, like hunters, illegal poachers, and things like that. But don't worry, because we have our airborne patrol that monitors the 800 square mile reserve 24/7 to make sure the animals are safe. And we're actually going to check in with them right about now, if they're in range, that is. Airborne patrol, this is Simba 1, over.
Simba 1?
Yeah, not in range. Well, I'm sure we'll hear from them very soon, or at least I hope so. I don't want to be on a 2-week safari without a warden to talk to. Let's see if we can find out here. If you look straight on back, right across the way, you'll see a very small black animal laying down his back to us. He kind of looks like a little dog. But it's actually not a dog. That's the yellowback duiker. Gets its name from the Afrikaans word duiker, which is Afrikaans for diver, and refers to the tendency that the duiker has to dive through brush to get away from predators in a hurry. Little forest antelope. Now it looks like we're headed around a watering hole, which is a great place for herds to gather, like hippos hang out around watering holes, and black rhinos. And also, take a look on the passenger side of the vehicle. Look right through the brush. You're going to see a caramel-colored animal with white stripes and backwards horns laying down. It's called the bongo. Now, bongos are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest because they're very rarely ever seen. They actually like to hide. That's what they like to do best.
There's a rhino up there.
Oh, wow. Okay, if we can get to higher ground, you'll get a real good look at this black rhino that's walking around on this hillside. On my side of the truck, look at him. Now, black rhinos have a hide an inch thick with a charging speed of about 35 miles an hour. There's only 4,200 black rhino left in the entire world because, unfortunately, they've been hunted for their horns by illegal hunters and poachers. Here's another look at the bongo. That's a real good look at him, and in fact, a very rare look at him. They're never that open like that. On my side of the truck, you'll see some real big black and white birds. That's the tallest stork in Africa, the saddle-billed stork. Look carefully, they're actually sitting on their knees. They can reach heights about 5 to 6 feet tall with a 9-foot wide wingspan. All right, now we are on our way to the Safi River, where we're going to catch our one and only chance to see some hippos. Now, hippos are one of the world's largest animals. When they're born, they weigh about 85 pounds. But a full-grown hippo can tip the scales at about 5,000 pounds. Now that could be due largely in part to the fact that hippos eat a lot. Eat about 150 pounds of vegetation every single night. That way they can have their days freed up to spend it in the water. Hippos really like the water. The only problem is they can't swim very well. So what they do instead is they hold their breath, completely submerge themselves underwater, and then they walk across the bottoms of the riverbeds to get around. Here's a couple of hippos right here under the water. You can see their backs reaching the top of the water. You can see those big white birds, the long bills, those are called pink-backed pelicans. They work together as a team to herd small fish into shallow water so they can get as much food as possible. All right, folks, so right about here, I usually remind everyone to please remain seated at all times. Give your hands and feet inside the vehicle no matter what. And I'm reminding you that right now because we are about to go over a very old and rickety bridge. And underneath that old rickety bridge, wait for it. Wait for it. Nile crocodile. Now crocodile have enough power in their jaws to crush the bones of their prey with a single snap. Now, if you see them with their mouths open, don't worry. And it's not a sign of aggression. That's actually just how Nile crocodile release body.
one, come in.
This is number one. Go ahead, Wilson. That is our warden.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activity near the red clay pit.
Really?
You definitely want to check out that area.
Roger that, Wilson. Asante Sana. We're going to head down to the red clay pits in a bit, but right now we're entering a completely different ecosystem with completely different animals. And speaking of completely different, take a look at that big old tree over there. That's called the baobab tree, and it's nicknamed the upside down tree because it looks like it was planted upside down. You can find baobab trees all over Africa. They can be as old as about 2,000 years of age, and they do go leafless for about 9 months out of the year. Now here's my personal favorite view of the entire reserve. Check it out. These are the Serengeti grasslands. They stretch on for hundreds and thousands of miles, acting as a superhighway for many different migrational herds. It's also home to such animals as the lion, the elephant, and the giraffe, and it's all part of the wild Africa that we're working very hard to conserve. All the landscape you see out here among the savanna is completely and 100% naturally maintained by the animals that live here. In fact, a great example of that can be found in the trees. You notice that all the trees are pretty much even with each other? There doesn't appear to be a single leaf less than about 18 feet off the ground. Now, what animal do you think is in charge of that? The giraffe, that's right. The giraffe are the pruning shears of the wild. They eat the bottom sides of the trees to help sunlight to shine through. Other animals like antelope and collie cattle, wildebeest, and other animals like that, they eat all of the grass to help new shoots to grow. In fact, there's a couple of sable antelope laying down in the distance. Sables, the darker that a sable is in color, the more dominant they are in the herd. You're going to see some real big cow-looking animals. They have real big horns. These are called collie cattle. Those horns are actually pretty hollow, with the exception of some blood vessels that keep them nice and cool when it's hot outside. Get a nice look at them. Now you see these big tall cones of earth. These are called termite mounds. They are made out of termite saliva and dirt. The sun bakes them all day long, making them as hard as concrete. And then animals like elephants tend to use them as scratching posts. There's also some trees that have been uprooted and knocked over. That's done by nature's bulldozer, the elephant. They knock over trees so they can eat the grass, and that helps, or so they can eat the roots, and that helps new grass to spread. You even got the gazelles and the warthogs. They eat along the edges of the ride path to keep everything neat and trim. Now, when all the animals work together like this, they create a very natural and balanced system, so there's always enough food for everybody. Now, grazing on the passenger side, you're going to see some really small gazelles. Now, they're commonly mistaken for babies, but those are actually full-grown Thompson gazelles. They don't weigh any more than about 60 pounds or so. It's as big as they're ever going to get. And then also laying down on the hillside, you're going to see some two-toned brown animals that are a little bit larger than the Tommies. Those are Impala, and they are best known for their leaping abilities. Now, get those keen eyes ready, because look among the palm trees coming up on my side. You might be able to spot a certain very tall animal. That is the reticulated giraffe. Now right here. There's a couple of them actually. Now they get their name from the Latin word reticulata, which is Latin for net, and it refers to that net-like pattern that's on their coats. If you look a little bit further up this pathway, you'll see some two really large antelope. It's the largest breed of antelope in the world, the Patterson's eland. Full-grown males weigh about 2,000 pounds. They're about 5 to 6 feet tall at the shoulder. There's also some white-bearded wildebeest laying down in the sand. They have the largest migrational herd in the world of 1.5 million.